this week, extra important, the international podcast, and you're here at the top. The segments are in the comments. It's my birthday week. First up, top of the pops. Okay, so first up, top of the pops. First up this week, we're talking about some deep business topics. So I'm sure in the last year or two, you've heard the headline, so-and-so sold their catalog for X dollars. I've decided to dive into my resources, as unlimited as they are, and bring you the deets on selling your catalog and or music rights. I feel like I've been hearing this sentence a lot, and it basically means that you take the bet off of your future earnings and place them on your current status. For example, you currently have 8 albums that create 2 million units a month. The company that you're selling your music rights to are going to decide how much they will buy your catalog for. Maybe a few songs, maybe the whole thing. They will come up with a figure that if your catalog continues to be consumed at a certain rate, they can feel comfortable buying you out for. And also on the back end, these companies are in control of licensing your songs and brand deals and a lot of things that can still affect your ability to do business. I have not heard a horror story about someone who sold their catalog yet. Let's hope we never do. Well, there's that one, but she deserved it. All right, so next up for number 9 on the countdown, we're breaking down figures and who has recently sold their catalog. First off, we have Justin Bieber, the king of the Beliebers, who sold his catalog for a rumored $200 million. Along with Justin, this record number was also allegedly settled for Dr. Dre's music rights. And then we had another record-breaking sale for a pop star, with Katy Perry offloading her first 5 albums for more than $225 million. Another monster acquisition to note, as Bruce Springsteen sold his entire catalog to his parent record label Sony Music for $500 million. That sounds like a sweet deal. Other artists include Shakira, Future, Imagine Dragons, Huey Lewis and the News, and also Bob Dylan. This move to me sounds like a good option to make up revenue from the lockdown. Seeing so many names in my research, it seems like this was the move for a lot of artists. And that was Top of the Pops. Next up, we're moving into the Mystical Minute. This week for the Mystical Minute, we're bringing Body, we're bringing Face Card on Black Amex, we're bringing Scalding Hot Tea in Your Lap, we're talking Ashley Graham, supermodel, advocate, actress, podcast host, mom, wife, sister, she does it all. Mrs. Irvin was born in 1987 on October 30th, the same birthday as I. Ashley started modeling at the age of 12, and in 2001, she was signed to her first modeling contract with Wilhelmina Models. After years of grinding, she shot to superstardom with her covering of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Currently, Miss Graham is signed to IMG Models and a mom to 3 sons, a wife to Justin Irvin. But most of all, her presence as a supermodel is a symbol of change. But I think it also highlights what we accept as representation from this industry. Fuck 'em all. Ashley Graham Irvin's Mystical Minute is anything but. Follow her Instagram and YouTube and Threads for your daily Ashley Graham treats. Okay, now we're on to number 7, Mr. MoneyBags. There aren't many people who have an official portrait. This week, This week for Mr. Moneybags, we're exploring the fantastical world of Ivanka Trump. Born October 30th, 1981, Ivanka is the second born of the Trump children. She went to school in New York until she was 15 when she transferred to a private boarding school in Connecticut to finish out her grade schooling and finished her degree in economics at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Some notable alumni include Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Ezra Pound, another October 30th baby, our Mr. Moneybags from episode 5, Elon Musk, John Legend, and Tory Burch of Tory Burch Fashion Empire. Ivanka has had her hands in a lot of pots since college, starring in her father's show The Apprentice, modeling, being a mom of 3, and she also served as a senior advisor for her father during his presidential stint. Ivanka and her husband Jared Kushner are estimated to have a combined net worth of $800 million. Ivanka is well on her way to becoming part of the Miss Moneybags Club. Let's go for Miss Moneybags. How many Miss Moneybags are there? I think there's like 10, maybe 20. I mean, if you count all my bitches, then you're up to like 30. All right, now on to the business break. First up for the biz break this week, we have Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson is an American multinational pharmaceutical and medical technologies corporation headquartered in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. It has a global workforce of approximately 130,000 employees who are led by the company's current chairman and chief executive officer, Wyken Duato. So J&J beat expectations for its third quarter of 2023 revenue, bringing in $21.35 billion versus the $21.04 billion expected. The pharmaceutical giant also reported a net income of $4.31 billion, which was right on target with what analysts suggested and predicted. This report marks Johnson & Johnson's first quarterly earnings since it separated from its consumer health spinoff Kenvue recently. This was the company's biggest shakeup in its 137-year history. Because of this separation, Johnson & Johnson have lowered their full-year sales and profit guidance. I would say it's time to buy the Johnson & Johnson. They seem like they're really gonna be revving up in the future here. Okay, so next up for the business break, we've got Netflix, our favorite Netflix. Netflix is an American video on-demand streaming service launched in January of 2007, nearly a decade after Netflix Inc. began its pioneering DVD by mail movie rental service. Netflix is the most subscribed video on-demand streaming media service with 247 million paid memberships in more than 190 countries. Netflix is another that beat expectations with a revenue of $8.54 billion this year. Netflix was almost $500 million less on last year's Q3. Netflix is leaving their subscription prices the same for now and claims its increased revenue has been contributed to by cutting down on password sharing. So, it warned that the strength of the U.S. dollar in recent months will result in a roughly $200 million drag on fourth quarter revenue. That makes sense. But you know, this fourth quarter, people are going to be watching all the time. Like, this is probably the time when people have the most time to like sit down and watch something new. So I still think they're going to do pretty good. The BMAP Spotlight will return next week. And now we're moving on to Puff of the Post. This week, the most popular article on the Huffington Post is the funniest tweets from parents this week, October 28th to November 3rd. The article reads, "Kids may say the darndest things, but parents tweet about them in the funniest ways. Although Twitter has rebranded to X, the humor lives on. Every week, we round up the most hilarious quips from parents on the social media platform to spread the joy. Scroll down to read the latest batch and follow HuffPost parents for more. I didn't realize there was a such thing as HuffPost parents. So I don't know. I kind of wanted to do this article because that's like my type of medium. Like I love parent blogs. Yeah, like I follow most of the blogs that I follow on Instagram that I really like keep up with are like parent blogs, and they're just like talking shit on their kids and just like it's just like a really good, like it's kind of like wholesome in a way, I guess. Like, you know that they don't really hate their kids, but I mean some of the stuff they say, like the kids are little assholes, but what are you gonna do? Okay, so let's read one. Peanut M&Ms are a choking hazard, and I take my solemn duty to remove choking hazards from my child's vicinity very seriously. Okay, cool, that's funny. I've been looking at Zillow pictures of my house just to remember what it looks like clean. That's okay. In 2015, I posted a picture of some beef stew I made on Instagram in the caption, "Beef stew skills on point." My kids found it tonight and have been making fun of me nonstop for 3 hours. I sure have a lot of opinions about cooking shows for someone who's eating a Paw Patrol string cheese for breakfast. Okay, and now they're just like showing me a bunch of fucking ads. Is this it? Is that it? Or like I don't understand. Why am I being shown this? Stages of getting kids ready to leave. 1, we are leaving in 15 minutes. 2, we are leaving in 5 minutes. 3, we are leaving in 1 minute. 4, where are your pants? Oh my god, that fucking rooster is going crazy. The most popular article for our Puff of the Post this week. Now we are moving on to Yahoo Too. The most popular article on Yahoo this week, the headline reads, Megan Fox slammed as a stupid pretty lady for her controversial Halloween costume. Fans and celebrities alike are furious at Megan Fox, who not only deliberately broke SAG-AFTRA's strike guidelines by dressing up as a character from a struck movie, but also rubs it in their faces by tagging them in her Instagram post. The actor attended the annual Casamigos Halloween bash with her fiancé Machine Gun Kelly, respectively, from the 2003 film Kill Bill, amid fans and other actors calling her defiant and stupid. In one of the slides, she tagged SAG-AFTRA, a labor union consisting of the Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, after they specifically told actors not to post in costumes inspired by struck content. SAG-AFTRA has been on strike since July 14th over an ongoing labor dispute with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. And Megan Fox's post goes directly against their recently posted rules. So apparently SAG-AFTRA issued strike guidelines over the Halloween costumes, and Megan Fox violates it by wearing a Kill Bill costume. So that happened. I don't know. I feel like it's ridiculous, but you know, I'm not being affected by the strike. All right, and that was our Yahoo Too for the birthday week. Okay, and now we're moving on to Fox in a HenHouse. The headline reads, I was blown up by a bomber and survived. Here's how I kept on going. Fitness helped me on the road to recovery, but I was determined to not let others down. According to several doctors, I'm supposed to be dead. If it hadn't been for being partially fairly fit fit when the incident happened. The incident was getting blown up by a bomber years ago while serving as a CIA officer in a war zone. The day of the attack, I had gone for a refreshing 6-mile run on a U.S. base there. Within hours, my life was never to be the same. Although the loved ones of those killed suffered much greater loss and pain. Whether getting blown up, surviving a car crash, or fighting a disease or illness, cheating or fending off death or for another day changes your perspective on life. Without getting too fatalistic or preachy, I, for one, take nothing for granted, and I cherish every moment I have on earth, even those mundane and ordinary moments hanging out with my family and other loved ones I cherish. So, the guy was blown up and he survived. Plz Lyk Mihhhh this week is brought to you by Jamaican Mango and Lime Tingle Shampoo. I picked this up in a small beauty store run. It just happened to be in the same shopping center as the place I was going to dance class. And overall, I like it. It's available literally everywhere you can find shampoo. And I don't know if that makes it good or bad. I would give the smell a 3 out of 5. The strength maybe 4 out of 5. And the value is a 5 out of 5. I've used this like 3 times in the last month, and there's still a lot left for natural hair and styles. It's pretty much available everywhere. And now our Artist of the Week. For Artist of the Week, we've got a cinema veteran and member of the Occult of the Beautiful, Nia Long. Nia Talita Long was born on October 30th, 19 blah blah blah, making her blah 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 something years old. Nia was born in New York, New York, and was raised between the East and West Coast and in Los Angeles. Nia Long has had decades-long success on the screen with too many notable products to list. With so many roles, it's hard to believe that someone can remain humble and still churn out hits. Such a varied character and an archetype all her own. Nia Talita Long is where it begins and where it ends. The original, the HBIC, wee wee. All right, and that concludes the recording of my birthday week podcast. This has been Culture Now Top 10 this week. Extra important, the international podcast. So much fun, so many accolades. See ya.